A unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. What's up, cousins? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the cookout. We are here to talk about Belle Collective, Season 8, Episode 3. They literally just put Season 8, Episode 3 up because it was saying Season 7, Episode 12, and they just put that up. So now it's Season 8, Episode 3, okay? And if you guys can hear the sound of my voice, I should have said that first. If you can hear the sound of my voice, let me know. Please, by putting your city, your state, your country, your island, your continent, your territory into the chat. Also, let me know what you put on the picnic table, okay? If you got anything with raisins, any type of potato salad with raisins, you know what I'm saying? Going ahead and put it on the left side of the picnic table. Put it on the left, all right? The one way over there. Everything else can go on the right. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that we keep those separated, all right? But we are here to talk about Belle Collective and take the poll at the top of the chat, okay? I am so happy to be back, you guys. I have been gone for a little bit. I didn't realize I had a surprise vacation, which I might look a little tan. Okay, I might look a little tan. I had a surprise vacation for my birthday, and you know, I fanned out. You know what I'm saying? But you said the chips and dip is here. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you for bringing the chips and dip. But yes, y'all, thank you for coming through. Hit the like button, share the video, all the things. What else do I want to share with y'all? I do want to share, even though I was out there sunning, okay, making sure that I could be dark and lovely. I also put on my sunscreen. So if you guys need a very good sunscreen, try this one. This is actually, it's called Black Girl Sunscreen. It is created by a Black woman. I use the 50 SPF, but they also have 35, 15, 20, you know, other things. So whatever works for you. All you have to do is hit the icon that's on the front of the screen, on the front of your phone, tap it. It'll take you exactly where to buy, okay? And it will give my channel credit. If you are on your computer at home, there is a link that you can find right under the menu bar. Click that and it'll take you exactly to where to buy, okay? But yes, the entire time I was slathering myself in this sunscreen and all of the sun's rays on the water. Y'all know you can still get a suntan if you are right by the water. And I was by the water all day. So yes, I don't mind it though. I like being a little dark. You know what I'm saying? You said, mine was on the 17th. Yours was on the 17th. I'm a summer baby, born first day of summer. So my birthday is on the 21st of June. But happy birthday, baby. Miss Sheila, nice for you to come in. Happy birthday to you, girl. All right, y'all, listen. Let's get to this show real quick. This was some interesting stuff, shocking information. Number one, I had no idea that Cliff was 56. When he said I'm 56 years old, I was like shocked, mainly because I thought he was older than 56. I don't want to be disrespectful, but that man got to get rid of that belly. That's why he feels so bad. His gut health. He has a pot belly. If he gets rid of some of that belly fat, his gut health will help improve, his everyday health. It'll improve his everyday health, and he won't be moving around and talking as slow as he does. Oh my goodness. Child, I bet you he was hell on wheels back in the day. But yes, that shocked me. When him and Teresa's mom, who they do appear to be the same age, I don't know. And Teresa's mom moves slow too. But when Teresa's mom was sitting there, he was like, I'm 56, and she's like, my mama. I was like, how the hell is she like how is she like your mama, Cliff? Oh my goodness, Woodstock, you're showing out. You're showing out. Okay. Come on in. Come on in. You said you're right. Cliff is pregnant. And so yes. When they panned Cliff's belly when he had, I think he was throwing the line for the fish. They went fishing at the end. I said, what is that? If he don't get rid of that, oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Anyway, we'll get to it when we get there. I just want to say to Cliff, you will have a little more energy and probably a little more, ready to have a baby if you get rid of your baby. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of your baby. Okay. You're not supposed to have one there anyway. All right, y'all. So let's get started. The show picks up exactly where it left off with Miss Selena, of all the people, busting out Glendale. Okay. Now, we cannot forget that Selena had a front row seat at Teresa's house when Mandy said, I'm attracted to Glenn, and Glenn, tell the truth. You know you attracted to me, because her mouth opened. She was like, bitch, I know you like, and she was in every conversation after that was happening about Glendale and how disrespectful Glendale is and all the things. So the fact that she tried to pretend like, oh shit, I just brought it up leisurely. No big deal. We know that Selena's playing games. You know what I'm saying? Somebody over there in production told Selena, you're going to have to turn this shit up. Okay, you here now. Okay, you and Gucci, y'all fought it out. You done made you got the Belle. Now we need you to pick it up, girl, and start bringing some of this beef, because honestly, you cannot keep talking slow and acting like you don't know what's going on in these episodes. Even though everybody wants to cry, everybody's being mean to me. I don't know what's going on. I wish this was about business. No. Every time that shit happen, y'all be sitting around talking about, why is this lady here? How did she get a check? This is so boring. I can't stand when she comes on screen. And so she finally brought some shit and put it on Leticia's lap. And that's exactly what Leticia was saying. Anytime anybody wants to make a name for themselves on this show, they come for me. And so when she told her, baby, did you talk to your husband? Because he told my fiance that he wanted, he went to see a divorce lawyer about that post-nup and some other things. Well, when you told her that in front of the Bells instead of in private, that was your way of making a name for yourself, because she didn't even show up this episode. I was hoping that Selena and Leticia would have a sit down, but they did not. Okay, they did not. Instead, we see Leticia walk on up out of that damn building, and she said, girl, I got to walk up out of here before I do something. You know what I'm saying? Implying that things would, could get rumble tumble between her and Selena. That's what it sounds like anyway. She said, I'm going to be somebody different if I have to talk to her. So I'm up out of here. You hear Selena say, don't tell Glenn I said it. She was like, bitch, but you did say it. You did say it, heifer. True. And I definitely would put her name in it. I definitely would put her name in it. But she went on out to the car, child, popped in some Mary J. Blige, Not Gonna Cry. Okay. Was your lover and your secretary. And then she proceeded to go after Glenn. Now, she asked a legitimate question. Glenn, did you see a divorce attorney? And why am I hearing this shit through Selena and not through you, right? Did you see a divorce attorney? She asked him that a couple of times. And he was like, what's the problem? No, I didn't see a divorce attorney. And she was like, well, why is this conversation being had? And he told her, you were the one who was having meetings and things, child, without telling me, right? And he's not lying. You did have meetings. You did make all kinds of directives without including him, Tisha. But what you failed to do in this conversation was remind him why you had those directives. What you did was he played his hand and you crashed. You crashed all the way out. And you gave him the upper hand by doing that. Because really, if you was playing chess, you would have known his next move. You would have known that he was going to ask somebody about that damn post-nup. Instead, you sitting there biting your lip and trying to hold back tears. Glenn, you lucky you ain't here, because he was out of town when she made this phone call. You lucky you not here, because I would drag your ass all up and down, blah, 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 blah. Why does that hurt your feelings when just last season, and I'm not even trying to be funny, just last season, y'all did the vow renewal, and you told him, if you embarrass me again, that's it. No more renewals of shit, right? So you are putting him on notice that this time is the last time, which was the right thing to do, period. But then you also started saying, just in case, let me get my ducks in a row. I'm going to pull you up out my business because you have too much control over my shit. When we broke up last time, I didn't have enough money to buy a hamburger. So this time, I'm going to make sure that I, at the very minimum, take care of me. You were asking him all the right questions. Am I on your life insurance policy? Where do I fall on your 401k and all the rest of the shit, right? You were doing everything you were supposed to do, Leticia, and I thought it was solid. But when you got in a car and you started sucking back tears, why would you do that without talking to me first? I was like, well, girl, you started it. You started it. You started it. It's okay for him to go see a lawyer, even if it's not a divorce attorney. You should have saw one too, but it's definitely okay for him to go follow up and see what this means for him, because he doesn't understand it. And when he was asking you about it, you didn't explain it well. And even if you did, he should still go see one. And if you meant what you told him, you wouldn't have been crying to his face. You would have laughed that shit off. If anything, you would have called him and said, Glenn, I'm getting your business from the Bells. And this is something that we both talked about. And once again, you're playing me. That's what you should have said. But you didn't do that. And now, I don't know. I'm feeling a little, I don't know. Anyway, we didn't get any more scenes from Leticia. So hopefully next week it's well, it's not, because she's going to have a conversation with Latrice, talking about, let's do a swap. You go talk to Glenn and I'll go talk to Cliff. But anyway, I said all that to say that Leticia showed her hand. All that shit she was doing before was simply bluffing. Okay? Because I don't know. I would have said good for you. I would have said good for you. What is up, Miss Vanessa? Y'all, reality recap is in the house. Y'all know how I feel about her, child. That is my good friend and sis. Make sure that you are following her if you are not already, because she has all the interviews, child, and all the tea. But thank you for coming through and supporting, baby. Also, thank you to my member, Miss Teresa. Teresa's in the house, and if you'd like to become a member, you can just hit the link at the top of the chat, okay? So anyway, and also take the poll. Take the poll. Okay, so yes. So anyway, I was cheering Leticia on this entire process. I was loving what she was bringing. Okay, when Glenn got mad and he got celibate, you know what I'm saying? And then huffed out the house. I was like, baby, yes. Yes, make sure he stays celibate. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of those was good moves. The fact that she broke when she asked him that question. You saw a divorce attorney? Yes. It's okay though. Let him see one. And all you had to say was, Glenn, we are still trying to figure shit out, so I get it. And stay on your P's and fucking Q's. That's how you handle it. But she didn't do that. That's unfortunate. I hated that for her. But it does show us that she still loves Glenn. It does show us that Glenn still has the upper hand. And we'll just have to see how Leticia, moves. She actually did an interview, if you guys missed it, on Reality Recap's channel. Check it out if you missed it, because she asked her a whole bunch of good questions, child, about her and Glenn. About her and Glenn. And y'all need to check that out, okay? All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Cliff. Cliff meets up with Gloria, that's his mama-in-law, Latrice's mother. And he said, listen, she asked me to go to lunch, or that, can we talk? So I'm gonna meet her out for lunch. And he said, we don't always talk. Like, we don't talk at all for the most part, unless there's something super important that she wants to share. So I know it's important, so I'm going to come through. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. You said, I think that she was more mad that the women were the ones telling her, not him. Exactly. I agree. I agree. And once again, she was left embarrassed in front of the group. Agreed. Absolutely. That's why I said that Selena was there for that whole, embarrassment, that whole blindsided thing between her and Mandy. And so for him to do it again, and then also for the Bells to do it again, because Glenn should have never left that open for Mike to bring that to Selena and Selena to bring it back to the group. At the very minimum, he should have said, if he thought he had to confide in someone, don't tell your wife. Don't say anything. Don't let this conversation get back to my wife. I think that that's important. And he didn't do that. He just said it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, but I agree with you, girl. So anyway, Cliff said, listen, me and Latrice's mama, even though I think of her as a mother and the way we talk is in a true mother-son fashion. How old is Latrice's mom? How old is Latrice's mama? He said, even though we talk in a true mother-son fashion, he says she's old school. She says what's on her mind, no twists and turns. You get what you get. Okay. He said he respects that. And I was like, good. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to see an old school man, any man, period, that, isn't so sensitive to everything. Sometimes you just want to say what you want to say, get it out in the open, and know that you can resolve it. But this is how Cliff is. He said, I'm not afraid of it. This woman don't cut no corners. We here to meet. I want to know what she got to say. I need to know what she's thinking. Okay. So anyway, Mama Gloria gets right to it. She says, listen, Latrice says you don't listen. That's number one. Number two, she said that you don't care about her opinion. And Cliff is like, no, that's not true. I do listen. I do care about her opinion. But if I don't agree with her, then, all hell breaks loose. All of a sudden, I'm the problem. That's not true. Sometimes Latrice doesn't listen. Like, for instance, she has this blood clot. She needs the surgery with her fibroids. She's not doing it. I keep telling her her health is the most important thing, but she's hard-headed. And her mama said, that's true. Her mama said, that's true. She was going to bat right up until that point. She went, yeah. I can't argue with you there. Okay. But then she said, listen, she wants a child. She wants a child. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Every woman should have a baby. Everybody should have at least one. Okay. And Cliff looked at her and said, I'm 56 years old. When I married her, I said I wanted babies. I wanted a baby with Latrice. I begged her for it. She didn't want one. Now we're 10 years later. I'm old. You know how old I'll be when that damn kid is 18 or 20? I'll be 76. I don't have time for that. He said, I'm in a place in my life where I want to see the world. Okay? Not Disney World. See the world. And that is what it is. And he's saying this, and he is, listen, even when he's talking, I'm like, why is this man so slow with it? You said Latrice practically married her daddy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyway, Cliff said, I can't do it. The idea of changing diapers, baby, going through the terrible twos. He has 5 children. And it sounds like he was very active in those babies' lives. Okay. It sounds like he was very active in his own children's life, but he wanted another child, which shows that
he loves children, right? And right now he said, I can't do it. Cliff said, there's just too much in my head when it comes to having another baby, because he, who's had 5, know what's involved. Treese does not. You know what I'm saying? Even though she might think she knows, she doesn't. She doesn't, right? She also doesn't know what the other side of her health journey looks like. Not yet, anyway, especially since she keeps putting it off. Gloria, anyways, Cliff tells Gloria that he wanted kids. She was the one who didn't, and now she has flipped the script, and she is sicking you on me to make me change my mind. I know that I got this many years of life yet left, and I want to, live a quality life. I want to make sure that I can be as quality as it can be, right? Anyway, Gloria says that she's going to help her daughter. I will help her. You know I love my baby. You know she means the world to me, and I will help her when she has this baby. And that's when Cliff reminds her, no, you ain't. He said, no, you ain't. You already, look, I paid for you to have a retirement party. And I told Treese then that your ass wasn't going to retire. We threw a party. They do this flashback where you see Gloria. And by the way, Gloria and Treese have the same exact face. I love to see moms and daughters look alike, but they have the same exact face. And he said, your ass went to work the next day, not a week later, not 2 weeks later, the next day after the party. You got up and went to work because you old school. You're never going to stop working. And I can hear you tell me you're going to help, but you ain't going to help. I already know what this looks like, right? So he says, no, thank you, right? Anyway, in confessional, Cliff says that when Gloria comes to him, he knows it's serious. He knows that whatever is going on in his wife's head, because she can't get it out of her mouth, it's a serious situation for him and their marriage. Okay, so he's like, I'm not even taking this lightly. The fact that Gloria is sitting in front of me, going to bat for me, getting my wife pregnant, I know it's going to be a problem for me. So he said, I don't want a child. He's sure about that. I don't want one. He also said, though, if it happens, I'll deal with it, but I'm hoping it never happens. Ooh, take the poll at the top of the chat. Gloria going to be from work. Cha. Okay, let's go to the next scene. Marie and Carlos. Y'all remember Marie did that speed dating event, and she ended up picking Carlos to go on her first date, right? So they are over there at Latrice's restaurant, and Carlos is there. And I guess he's a little bit camera shy. I can't say he's all the way shy, child, because he was singing songs about sexing up Marie. About sexing up Marie and all kinds of things. And I was like, well, he ain't shy. He's just a little camera shy. I think the idea of being on TV kind of, made him a little tongue-tied a little bit. But he's there, and him and Marie talk, go through all the things. What do you do? Talk about their business. He's an aerospace contractor. He said he had 4 children and 4 grandchildren. His son also had 4 kids, so kind of followed the line. And he's saying weird stuff. It's hard to explain. Like, he's telling her, the first thing you need to do is be attracted to someone physically. And she's like, oh, okay, well, did you like what you saw when we met? He goes, absolutely. And then he goes, and I like your makeup, which, by the way, I don't know, it's a little weird to hear. I don't know. I just think it's weird. Maybe it's just me. But he says, I like your makeup to Marie. And it kind of stumps her. She's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? But then maybe she's thinking, well, since he says he likes a pretty woman, maybe he thinks that I look a certain way without makeup. So she was like, I don't need makeup. And she made sure she drove that home. Baby, I wear it because I like it, but I don't need it. I'm a pretty girl with or without makeup. And she kept saying that. He's like, okay, I understand, right? Anyway, what else? Like I said, he ended up singing a song to Marie in this restaurant. It was a full house, by the way. So I'm assuming that there was just regular patrons of the restaurant when they were filming that night. But people started dancing and clapping after he was done. It was a whole thing. Child, he told her that she smelled good. What else happened? He asked her what her deal breakers are. And Marie said, deception is my number one deal breaker. I don't want to be lied to. We are grown. If there's something you don't like, if there's something else you want out of a relationship, you should be able to talk about it. Don't just do it and expect me to deal with the fallout later. Like, I want to be told what's going on. She also said that she's very loyal, right? And he said that he agreed with her with all the points. And then he seemed real eager to go out with her again. So he said, did everything go okay in this date? Is there a chance that we're going to see each other next time? And she basically told him that, she don't want to move too fast, which I totally understand. She said, I don't want to move too fast. As of right now, you're a vibe. Everything feels good for now. But in order for me to get a good gauge of who you are, understand who you are, we're going to have more dates than this. But as for right now, this one, thumbs up, right? And yeah, I agree with her. It was interesting to see. I think Carlos would be a good fit for dating Marie. I think that he has more personality than who was Marie's ex-husband? What was his name? I forgot it, but whoever the ex-husband's name is, he had a little more personality than him. I will give him that. Okay. I think he's smarter. I think he makes more money. You know what I'm saying? He said he traveled the world. So he got a lot going on. And I think that Marie should actually check into him a little bit more. But we'll see what happens next. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Miss Carrie So Very, child. Oh my goodness. Hey there, Erica. Now, reality recap. I know you said that Carrie's not your favorite person, but baby, I do like Miss Carrie. I like Miss Carrie. Carrie is funny to me. I think that's why I like her. I like that she ruffles feathers and she knows it. And she is really quick to try to, put out the fire when she gets shit started. At least on TV she is. Maybe she's a different person without those cameras rolling. But on TV, she is quick to put out a fire. And I like that about her, even though she starts stuff. But Carrie is at home and she said, baby, listen, Matt's mama, I think her name is Marlene. Matt's mama, Marlene, has given me a call and she wants to talk to me. And she already knows that Marlene is coming with some bullshit, right? It's either Marlene or Maureen. She said, I know she coming with some bullshit. So I done invited my mama, Eleanor, to, help me out just in case his mama goes off the rails. And she said that there is a saying that the old people do in the South called time enough for. And she said, Eleanor is going to be time enough for her. Okay. And the only reason why I'm laughing is because Eleanor did not say one word. Eleanor was sitting there looking at her daughter like, well, I kind of agree with everything Marlene is saying. And I hollered that Miss Carrie was all by herself in this war, child. But yes, Matt's mama showed up with a styrofoam cup and a straw, child. And apparently there was some drink in that cup. Okay, so she was already on the drive over. She had already been feeling good and was going to get off whatever was on her heart. And she absolutely did. Okay. Now we know Matt sent her, because if you was watching the last episode, you heard Matt say, maybe you should talk to Carrie. And I was giving Matt all kinds of credit at the beginning when we first met him. I said, there's something going on with Carrie and Matt. You can tell they might have gone through some struggle times, because when Carrie was trying to talk about, I think she was trying to talk about Glenn and Tisha, he stopped her. He was like, don't do that. Don't do that. And I said, uh-oh. He's basically letting us know that they've had some struggles. And they have. Look like they have broken up a couple of times, left each other a couple of times, and have made up and come back together. But now Miss Marlene is there, baby. Maureen is there. And she starts it off by saying, baby, where's your bra? Where's your bra? And she's like, I'm wearing a bra. What is the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you hit me with that first? But after that, it was, listen, you cooking for the kids? Oh, that's new. Okay, that's news to me that you would cook for your own children. I mean, whack a tack tack all over the head and shoulders. Basically, what do you do for my son? Why are you letting my son work himself into the ground? Why is he the one taking care of the kids while you're out gallivanting at these damn restaurants? She asked her, why were you always gone? Basically said, I'm here for my son. I'm concerned about my son. He sent me, is basically how she put it. What else did she say? She said, you're a good mama, baby, but you ain't a good wife. You're not a good wife to my son, and you're not good to the family as a unit. There's 4 people that depend on you, and you're awful. Okay? She said everything. And anytime Eleanor looked like she wanted to say something, Maureen chimed in and said, you raised her. Eleanor, you raised her. I didn't raise my son for this kind of marriage. I didn't raise my son for this kind of relationship. It was awful. Okay? I know people hate the mama sometimes, but I do like Maureen. I hope she stays. I hope she sticks around. Don't give Maureen too much hate, baby. Maureen was okay. Now, we've been talking about Carrie for a little bit. You know, she's having a hard time giving up that last restaurant. I think it's called, is that the Brick and Spoon? I think that's the Fork and Spoon, whatever it's called. She's having a hard time giving up that restaurant. And even though her own mama told her, get off the pot, leave it. Her employees have told her husband have told her, she won't do it. So they sent in the heavy guns. And even though she asked her mama to show up, I swear to y'all, her mama was like this the whole time, like just looking between Maureen and her daughter, did not pipe in not one time. But anyway, Carrie ends up telling Maureen, listen, I'm nobody's Stepford wife. That's not the woman that he married, never been that, won't be that. My mama didn't raise no fool. She had her own businesses growing up. I literally have been following my mama's footsteps. That's who I am as a woman. Not to mention that I have taken care of this entire family. I got 3 $1 million businesses that I run. The idea that you think I'm supposed to drop everything and be home by 5 or 4 or picking up the kids from school, that's just not our household. We don't have a traditional marriage. And I have to say that I did agree with Carrie on that if he didn't marry that type of woman, why would she stop and be that type of woman now? It didn't make sense to me. But she basically says, Maureen, I have a restaurant in peril. Okay. I am drowning trying to figure things out, trying to figure out how to close it, how to make it move forward, whatever the case may be. Because she has a partner over there too, who I think is also rooting for that restaurant to be closed. And I do believe that they said they had already put it up for sale or something, right? Anyway, long story short, Maureen wasn't having it. She still feels the way she feels. And you could just tell that Carrie was spent by the time that conversation was over. She looked like, oh my God, I cannot believe that man sent his mama after me like that. But good for you for keeping your composure, Carrie, because I think that if those cameras weren't rolling, I think you would have cussed that lady out your house. That's what I think, okay? Based on how Matt handled you at the end, that's what I think. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Treese and Tambra. They meet up with Marie to chit chat, to catch up with each other. And Marie said that this is nothing but God, because back in the day, a meeting with Treese and Tambra, Child, please. She couldn't stand either one of them. Okay. So she said the fact that she was able to meet with them, laugh, joke, all the things shows everybody how far they've grown in these relationships. And she's right. I agree with her. Okay, so they end up catching up on Marie's date. She tells them how everything went with Carlos. And then Treese ends up talking about wanting to have a baby, which shocks the mess out of both Tambra and Marie. Tambra is off of her feet, like, say what now? What are you talking about? Oh my God, right? And Marie is sitting there like, child, who coerced you into saying that shit? Because there is no way that you want to have a baby under no circumstances. And in confessional, she said, baby, look, until Treese gets serious about her health, get off them heels, get them blood clots taken care of, she can't have a baby no way. And at this point, there must be something going on with Treese for her to even let those words escape her mouth. I don't know what it is, but that is not who Treese is, okay? I agree. I would have popped it too, Vanessa Child. That's crazy. Anyway, she said there must be something else going on. And Treese, pretty much confides. She had these health issues. She has these health issues. And she already said, I'm afraid of what my life is going to look like if my husband isn't here. We know that, he's getting a little bit older. He's not at, death's door or nothing, but he's getting a little bit older. She's starting to think about her own mortality. So she wants to have a baby, right? Anyway, after that, they end up talking about what happened at the speed dating event. And Marie said, listen, how did Selena fix her face to tell the two of you Glenn went to see a divorce attorney, right? She said she had talked to Miss Leticia, and she says she is very upset. She's very disappointed. All of the conversation that they've been having for the last couple of weeks, we know that Leticia and Treese were on the rocks because she felt like Treese should have told her what Mandy was going to do. She was like, there was every opportunity for Selena to do the right thing and come to her woman to woman, especially since she was asking all of us to do the same thing for her when it came to her and Mike and that baby situation. So you're not going to make me think that Selena didn't know what the hell she was doing. But Treese and Tambra, they took up for Selena. That is their girl. And they said, it's not how it looked. We were just talking. She wasn't basically spilling beans. When you look at the episode, when you look at that scene, she was spilling beans. She could have talked about anything else, but she spilled the beans. Okay, period. At the very minimum, she could have said, y'all know what? Let me step away for a second, and called Leticia and said, girl, I'm just going to tell you this. It just hit my mind just now. I'm over here and I wanted to make sure I said it to you first. She could have done anything. She didn't do that. And so I'm just going to put that out there that she was wrong. And Maria's sitting here with a face that lets Tambra and Treese know, I don't care what y'all say, that heifer was wrong. And you were wrong for trying to take up for her. Okay? And she ain't lying. That's true. That's true. Anyway, Treese ends up saying that Selena isn't the problem. The problem is Glenn, because he should have opened his mouth and said it to his wife first. She also said that Glenn moves funny. Glenn moves funny. Everybody's going to make this Selena's problem, but it's Glenn's problem. It's both of their problems. Selena definitely should have said something to Leticia first. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about Matt and Carrie. They are at the crib and Matt is outside cleaning up or doing whatever he's doing. And Carrie ends up coming out because she needs to talk to him about his damn mama. Okay. Listen, as you get older, I'm sure people calm down a little bit. But when you're in the marriage and you're trying, especially when you're trying to get over certain things, you got certain challenges like financial challenges and things like that. The last thing you need is for your husband's mama to come to you with bullshit. Okay. So she goes outside, and right away I said, you know what? The fact that Carrie is in good spirits when she's talking to Matt, because I would have came out there and probably had something in my hand, like, do you know what your mama just did? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? You're going to be pretty pissed off about it. But she came out there in pretty decent spirit. And she said, listen, your mama popped up on me unannounced. And I was like, well, Carrie, you did say that she called. That's how you brought your mama over. So I don't know why it would be unannounced. But she tells him your mama came over here unannounced. And he said, is that right? Knowing damn well he sent her. So both of them are lying their asses off in the scene. And she tells him she sure did. And then she goes on to say, your mama offended me every which way. You know what I'm saying? Up, down, all around. Okay. She took me through there. Okay. She turned me every which way but loose, baby. Called me a bad mama. Called me a bad wife. Said I don't do shit. Said that I basically use you. I'm using you to parent our children, to feed them, to get them to school. I don't know where this is coming from. And she heavily implied that you told her to do it. And do you know that Matt's raggedy, rotten ass said, I didn't tell my mama to do that. No, I didn't tell my mama to do that. I said, Matt, you absolutely told your mama to do that. You absolutely lied and told your mama to do that, sir. That was hilarious. Anyway, he swore he didn't. And he said, did you offend my mama? Did you say something raggedy to her to offend her? Or did she say something raggedy to you? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of always being in between the two of y'all. I'm not feeling Matt the way I was in the beginning. I was like, I can't believe this man is really out here pretending he didn't send his mama. And then sitting here saying, child, y'all putting me in the middle. I don't, Carrie and my mom has always had a bad situation. Then he asked her, was she drinking? She said, hell yes, she was drinking. He went, why didn't you take the drink from her? She said, Matt, she brought the sand to the beach. She came with the cup of Henny. And even if she didn't, I'm not taking a drink from a grown ass woman. Girl. Oh my goodness. Anyway, she tells Matt, I'm not changing. I'm not going to be maligned by any of these Bells or your mama. Know that. Okay. And then we find out something real important from Carrie here. Carrie said, listen, Matt's away from the house at least 6 months out of the year. So the idea that when he comes home and he's stationary and he helps out a little bit, this act like he's doing everything all year round. Checked it. Okay. Come on in, everybody. Love to see you, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, girl. The other thing she said that was interesting was that Matt was the one who told her to open that third restaurant. He gave me the idea for it. We sat down and talked about how to execute it. And then I ran with it. That's how we do. Then she said this house was another thing that we got together. And then it needed renovations. And I was the principal for. So I don't know. I'm now looking at Matt a little sideways. Now it makes sense why he was so, Team Glenn. Y'all remember that? He was Team Glendale. Oh, just talk to me, man, when you need some help. I understand, man, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, Carrie said he does this all the time. And she said his mama, who, by the way, she's a beautiful woman now, but she was a beautiful woman back in the day. That was a handsome and beautiful family, right? Matt, when he was growing up, I think he has a sister. His dad looked good, child, all of them. Anyway, she said, your mama didn't have anything to worry about except y'all. Okay? She sat on the couch and she raised kids. I'm not that, and I'm not going to be that. And I agree with Carrie. Stop trying to make her be something she's not. That doesn't make sense to me. But I can't wait to see what happens at the reunion when they run that tape back. And Carlos better ask Matt, why didn't you tell the truth about telling your mama to show up and to give Carrie the business, okay? Anyway, I thought that was interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens next. But next week, Miss Maureen is in the building again, and it sounds like she's gonna pull a line from The Color Purple, child. She said some shit like, you better tame her. That's her problem. You haven't tamed her. I went tamed her. Is this the equivalent of you told Harpo to beat me? Girl. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I can't wait to see what happens next week. Carrie ends up telling him, I am who I am. And then Matt says in his confessional, we both work. We both are away from the house at the same, as we both have equal time away from the house. So if that's the case, why did you lie to your mama? Why did you lie? Is the question. All right. And he's lying on social media because I saw you trying to make some comments over there, Matt. Anyway, let's talk about Latrice and the one I affectionately call Woodstock, Cliff. So Latrice is doing what women do. Okay. Latrice said, we got this big ass property with all of these ponds and things like that. She said, my husband's a big outdoorsman. He likes to fish and things like that. Me, I stay inside the crib and I drive into the city when we have to, right? But she said today she wants to go outside and fish with her husband. And we all know that she's just putting it on to get her husband to say yes to something, right? So she goes out there. He got the fishing pole and that damn pot belly looking just like a little pot belly pig, child. And he's out there fishing. He asked Latrice, what you doing out here? Because she brought some champagne. She said, I came out to hang with you and the fish, okay? So he shows her how to fish. She catches one first try. It looks like anyway, from how they edited it. And then she takes a seat and she catches him up on all the gossip. Okay, your friend Glendale, child, out here going to divorce attorneys. And that was such a shock to Cliff. Cliff said, wait a minute, because he thought she got the story wrong. So he said, wait a minute. Glenn went to see a divorce attorney or Tisha? She went, no, Glenn. He was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? What is going on? Is it Giselle sleeping with the lions? Because we all know that Tisha should have left Glenn 12 years ago. Okay, 12 years ago. Anyway, after they finished talking about all of them, Cliff tells her that he met up with her mama. Okay, I met up with Gloria. And she said, for what? Like she doesn't know when she sent Gloria to talk to Cliff. But he said, for what? He went, well, she wanted to talk to me about having a baby. And she said, oh, so what you say? He said, I told her no. No, I don't want to have a baby. And Treese is kind of looking at him crazy. He was like, look, 10 years ago, I wanted a baby with you, Latrice, but now my body doesn't want to do it. My body, not yours, my body. So he's telling her, I have slowed all the way the hell down. Child, if you don't get on the shot or something, I'm telling you, Cliff, you'll feel a lot better once you lose that belly. It's the gut. Your gut health is off the charts. Okay. It's a mess. But he said, my body is telling me no. And she said, well, I want to. And I think it's up to the woman to decide when she wants to have a baby. And she said, so I want one. And he said, no, basically. He said, if this is how you feel, I'm going to have to go get snipped. And she said, I know you fucking lying. And in confessional, Tree said that's the second time he said it. And if he does it, She wants a divorce. She tells that to Cliff too. I want a divorce. If you don't want to have this baby, and if you go get Snip, I want a divorce. And he shakes his head. He said, that's not even grounds for a divorce. Anyway, he gives her 100 reasons why not, instead of just saying, babe, I'm old. I'm old as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm 56. I'm really scared about what this is going to look like for me. But Teresa's trying to talk him into it. You know, my mama's going to take care of it. He tells her, absolutely not. You know, your mama's a liar. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. She was like, well, she ain't the only one. We can get nannies and stuff like that. You got money to go on vacation and all the rest of the things. But Cliff is literally like, I know who you are, because he does. I know who you are. I think you do want a baby. I do. I think you'll be a good mother, but I also think that you're going to demand things from me that my mind and my body can't give. And you don't understand that yet because you haven't gotten over that, ripe 50. Once you get over that 50 marker, you be like, this doesn't work the way it used to. And because you think that you can still do this, you're going to realize later. But he's not saying that, right? And I understand why. But anyway, Treese is upset after she said this is grounds for divorce. Treese gets up and she said, fuck you. Okay? If you don't give me what I want, you. And she starts moving on. And he said, no, I'm not going to let you fuck me. Because that's how you make a baby. And then he just shook his head and said she's hard-headed. But the truth of the matter is, y'all are just really on two different planes. And I have to say, I had y'all take that poll. I want to see what the answer is. And if you guys are watching the recap, I'm going to read the question out and you can put your answer in the comment section, okay? But I wanted to know, whose side are you on? Are you on Teresa's side, or are you on Cliff's side when it comes to her having a baby? And 58% of you are on Cliff's side, while 42% of you are on Teresa's side. And I have to say, I'm on Cliff's side more than Teresa's side, because she did kind of turn the tables on her. I do understand that she wants a child, but they have to talk this out a little more. She's not even in a place where she knows if she can, or if she should be using like a surrogate or something else. Like, there's a whole lot of steps that Treese has to take before she starts demanding this child and getting in her feelings about it. But when she walked off, she said, I get what I want. I get what I want. And he, this is going to be a problem. Now, this was very interesting because Cliff ends up saying, when she walks away, he said, listen, we were together for the good, for better or for worse. She had the better, and she's about to experience the worse. So he's basically saying he's going to fight her every step of the way. And if she wants a divorce, we have to see how this plays out, child. We don't know if it's a storyline or what it is. But so far, this is how they ended it, okay? He said that she can't have her cake and her pie and eat it too. Not on his watch. But that's it. You said Latrice is a city girl. Yes, yes, yes. So y'all, that was it. It was a good episode. I am still like really liking this show. It's like one of my favorites. This is the third episode of season 8. So we got a few more to go. Okay. So make sure y'all keep your notification bells on. All of the things, so that y'all can be a part of the live on Saturday. And me and Vanessa, we need to talk about some of these other shows that we have been watching. So we'll do our And Another Thing segment, okay? But thank you guys for coming over and hanging out with me. Even though I am a little stuffy, thank y'all for sticking through all of that. Make sure y'all grab some stuff off the picnic table and take it home, okay? Get y'all some foil and some plates and take it home. Hit the like button, share the video, follow me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. And until the next one, bye-bye.